Hello, welcome to road.cc. We're joined today by Bruce Dalton from Kinesis Bikes, and we're joined by the brand new Tripster AT. So Bruce, we first saw this bike at the Dirty Reaver in prototype form. It's now a full production bike. Talk us through it.
Yeah, so we've been working on this frame for the last year and a half, really, in various guises. We've gone through several different prototypes to get to the finished article. It's been a real labour of love as well. We've worked heavily on the design in terms of the graphics look with our colleague and friend Mike Hall as well, and obviously following his very sad passing, it's really nice to finally bring a product that Mike had a real good hand in. So it's really nice to bring that out there. But what is the Tripster AT? The Tripster AT it's the adventure, it's the all-terrain, it's the one bike. It's the bike that of our range personally, it's the one that if I only could have one, I'd buy.
Okay.
The interesting stuff around this is it's the wider tyres, that predictable Tripster geometry that a lot of people have really enjoyed over the last few years, and its carrying capacity.
Okay, so you've already got the Tripster ATR in the range, a titanium model in its second generation now that we've reviewed and liked. So this is a more affordable version of that bike in one sense?
Yeah, that's right. So we took kind of all that we wanted from the previous ATR and brought that into a frame and fork package, which comes in at $699.
Wow,
so
that's a good price point.
Yeah, exactly.
And that includes the carbon fork as well?
Yeah, that's actually the Tripster TA fork, which we offer available for the Tripster ATR at the moment. It's that same 12mm thru-axle with integrated mudguard eyelets. It's also got drilling in the crown for a mudguard or a dynamo as well, because we can see quite a lot of people running those on there. So yeah, it's a really high value proposition now in the marketplace. So, I mean, that's the marketing speak. What am I thinking about it? I've been riding these prototypes for the last sort of 6 months, and it's just fantastic. It's amazing what you can do with a 45mm tyre. So.
Yeah, and the geometry, that's the same or similar to the Tripster ATR?
Yeah, very, very similar.
Okay.
All of the exact details will be on the Kinesis site in good time when this all comes out. At the moment, the real big difference over the Tripster ATR is the cavernous clearance. So this will take a 45mm tyre with British slop clearance, which is quite important because we want to be able to ride this. Okay. My colleague and I have decided that this is not a gravel bike, this is a beyond gravel bike.
Beyond gravel?
Yeah, beyond gravel.
What's beyond gravel then, Bruce?
It's that pushing it to the limit, maybe bottoming it out occasionally, but just about hanging on. It's that mountain bike trails that you shouldn't really go down on a drop bar bike, but you just about make it down. And that's why we took quite a lot of the style of mountain bikes that we've enjoyed designing with the Maxite range for quite a while, and we sort of shoehorned that into the Tripster to create what we think is probably our most capable drop bar bike ever.
Wow. Now Kinesis has a long history of producing high quality aluminium frames, and there's some really nice attention to detail in this frame, like the down tube is kind of curved and shaped. Is there a reason behind the shape of the down tube and the top tube? And
so the two main remits for this bike was that it needed to be comfortable when it was laden. A big part of this sort of category was going off and having adventures with bags on your bike. And one of the things with there is the bike needs to be able to perform well when it's got the different balance to it that you have when you've got bike bags on there. And so we also felt that when you've got your 3 bottle cages all loaded up, as you can see, there's 3 different mats. We've also got some nice details on here where you can move the cages up and down relative to having a bike packing bags on there. We felt that when you're up there, if it was a size 60 frame and there's a big rider on there's a lot of weight going through that frame, so you need that front centre to be real stiff. And so we brought across a hydroform mountain bike down tube that we've been working on with the factory for some time, and adding that has really stiffened up the front end. It allows it to be really predictable, especially with the thru-axles front and rear, and it just gives a really nice direct ride feel, and it's just confidence inspiring.
Okay, that's interesting. So you really considered the impact that bike packing bags have and the weight they have on the handling and the performance.
Even down to the way that we design the decals, and that was where Mike Hall really came in. His insight there was key. We'd originally looked at launching a specific frame with Mike, and he felt quite rightly so that he wanted to do that a specific frame for another side, so we were going to leave that. But we still worked on things, so things like the head tube badge here, which isn't interrupted by the bags at the front, and it allows the whole look of the bike to be retained even when it's fully laden.
So you can still see the logos even when there's a
exactly, yeah, it doesn't
strap for
look
a bag
like
around there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So that was a real consideration, and again, why we haven't gone for a particularly sort of skinny rear stays. When you've got a big weight coming off the back of your saddle with a saddlebag on there, which is most people, we found as well, favouring this where you've got good weight distribution front and rear, keeps the ride nice and planted, and it stops it all from wobbling around too much. So.
Okay. And as well as fitting bike packing bags, you can fit racks.
Yeah, that's right.
And mud guards.
Racks are still a massive part of touring, and for some applications, if you're going to be using this as a commuting bike, like in this stunning Seeon yellow, this would make a fantastic commuting bike with more of a road tyre in there. So why not have a rack set up so you can just take that pannier off, waterproof panniers from people like Ortley that are out there, you can just take them off, and you've got a really nice commute bike as well. Also got mud guards. If there's loads of people who will bash mud guards for whatever reason, mainly aesthetics, but the truth is that a mud guard massively improves your riding experience in the winter time. They might not look as cool as people think, but what's going to be really, really nice with this is you can run a 40mm tyre with a mud guard on there. So even riding off-road in the winter time, you can stay relatively mud-free and dry.
Wow, so as well as beyond gravel, you can turn it into a winter commuting training bike with wide tyres and mud guards.
That's why it's not a gravel bike. It's beyond that. It's got more capabilities, and we didn't really want to pigeonhole it to that because it's just a capable off-road drop-barred bike.
Okay, and I see all the cables routing internally.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so we've got internal cable routing on there. Just tidies things up. Again, it's that whole not catching your bags on things. On these builds as well, we spec them pretty nicely. A build that Mike would have been riding if he'd have been able to ride one of these bikes, and full Shimano on these with a Alba crank. The bike will also be available with a Rival 1 build kit, and that will come in at $16.99 as a full complete bike. So we'll really have a great price point because we've really considered as well when designing this the implications of people getting into this category. They'll need to buy equipment for actually doing the bike packing, so there'll be bags, sleeping bags, mats, that sort of stuff. So there is an overall package. We've considered the implications of having to actually invest in that category.
Okay. So I guess the next question, when's it going to be available? When can people buy it?
So this bike's going to be available at the end of June. You'll be able to see them for the first time at the Adventure Cycle Fest in the Lake District, which we'll be supporting. And then also at The Distance, which is our unique gravel bikepacking event up in Scotland. Please go over to thedistance.cc to have a look about that. That's on the 10th and 11th of June, and Off-Road CC will be covering that.
Nice little plug there, nice little plug. I feel like we've covered all the details. Is there anything else you think we need to... I mean, obviously we haven't talked about the colour, have we really?
Wow.
So, I mean, wow.
So this is the colour.
That's, you definitely people stand out on that. Yeah.
Obviously. So this is called Seeon Yellow. I will take some credit for this. This colour was firmly a Mike Hall and Matt Gray, who is our head of design. He worked tirelessly with Mike. Matt and Mike worked very closely on the whole look of the bike. But I felt that if we were going to offer a subdued, sort of subtle paint job like the Arran blue, which this is, that it was appropriate to offer something that would really be seen. So we've got Seeon Yellow and Arran blue. And Arran blue because I spent quite a lot of time riding prototypes when I was going out and wrecking the Green Giro course with Giro. So that's the sky in Arran never really goes blue, it's always grey blue.
Nice. So there you go, the new Tripster AT. 2 colours, loud, understated, 699 frame and fork, complete Rival build from $16.99. These aren't production builds, these are bikes being built up for us to test the bike. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have a full review on this bike here.
If you want to ask any questions, leave a comment in the box below and we'll pick up on that.
Yeah, Bruce doing my job for me.
And I guess like and share this video, and then give these guys a subscribe.
Yeah, as Bruce says, like and subscribe to the channel, and thanks for coming on, Bruce.
No worries, thank you very much.